झारखंड के सभी मतदाताओं से आग्रह करूंगा कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा संख्या में मतदान में हिस्सा लें। साथियों, मैं मिथिला की धरती की बेटी स्वर कोकिला शारदा सिन्हा जी को भी श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूं। शारदा सिन्हा जी ने भोजपुरी और मैथिली संगीत की जो सेवा की है वह अतुलनीय है। खास तौर पर महापर्व छठ की महिमा को जिस तरह उन्होंने अपने गीतों से पूरी दुनिया में पहुंचाया वो अद्भुत है। साथियों, आज बिहार समेत पूरा देश विकास के बड़े बड़े लक्ष्यों को पूरा होते देख रहा है। जिन सुविधाओं, परियोजनाओं की पहले सिर्फ चर्चा होती थी, आज वो वास्तविकता बनकर जमीन पर उतर रही है। हम विकसित भारत की तरफ तेजी से कदम बढ़ा रहे हैं। हमारी पीढ़ी सौभाग्यशाली है कि हम इसके साक्षी बन रहे हैं और इसे पूरा करने में अपना योगदान भी दे रहे हैं। साथियों, हमारी सरकार देश की सेवा के लिए, लोगों के कल्याण के लिए हमेशा प्रतिबद्ध रही है। सेवा की इसी भावना से यहां विकास से जुड़े 12,000 करोड़ रुपए के एक ही कार्यक्रम में 12,000 करोड़ रुपए का अलग अलग प्रोजेक्ट का शिलान्यास और लोकार्पण हुआ है। इसमें रोड, रेल और गैस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर से जुड़े अनेक प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं। और सबसे बड़ी बात, दरभंगा में एम्स का सपना साकार होने की तरफ एक बड़ा कदम उठाया गया है। दरभंगा एम्स के निर्माण से बिहार के स्वास्थ्य क्षेत्र में बहुत बड़ा परिवर्तन आएगा। इससे मिथिला, कोसी और तिरहुत क्षेत्र के अलावा पश्चिम बंगाल और आसपास के कई क्षेत्रों के लोगों के लिए सुविधा होगी। नेपाल से आने वाले मरीज भी इस एम्स अस्पताल में इलाज करा सकेंगे। एम्स से यहां रोजगार, स्वरोजगार के अनेक नए अवसर बनेंगे। मैं दरभंगा को, मिथिला को, पूरे बिहार को इन विकास कार्यों के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। साथियों, हमारे देश में सबसे बड़ी आबादी गरीब और मध्यम वर्ग की है और बीमारी भी सबसे अधिक इन्हीं वर्गों को प्रभावित करती है। इस वजह से इलाज पर इनका खर्च भी बहुत ज्यादा होता है। हम सब उसी पृष्ठभूमि के हैं, गरीब और सामान्य परिवारों से निकले हैं। इसलिए घर में कोई गंभीर रूप से बीमार पड़ता है तो कैसे पूरा घर संकट में आ जाता है, हम इस चिंता को भली भांति समझते हैं। और पहले के दौर में स्थितियां भी बहुत कठिन हुआ करती थी।
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
And finally, must to streamline the bureaucracy of the United States of America.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए,
in the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं।
NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
NDTV proudly presents NDTV World Summit 2024, the India Century. I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's inaugural session at the NDTV Summit outlined his vision for the India century, driven by aspirational India.
हमारा प्रयास होगा भारत की सेंचुरी सिर्फ भारत की नहीं बल्कि पूरी मानवता की जीत की सेंचुरी बने।
The summit brought together prominent global leaders, highlighting India's pivotal role on the world stage.
Not just Indians trusting India's leadership, but the global South especially trusting India's leadership.
Permanent seat on the UN Security Council is something that should be India's right.
Canada is concerned, I think there are some very specific issues. I think a lot of people know that.
AI is going to be one of the most important, drivers.
It's a very exciting time for India, Indian cinema as well at a global level.
NDTV World Summit was more than just a conversation. It was a confluence of ideas poised to shape our global future. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility, according to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024. NDTV is the top most news platform in the country. Number one in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
Hello and welcome to India Sense.
Supreme Court has destroyed the idea of bulldozer justice, strict guidelines issued over demolitions. Politics over back checks of leaders in Maharashtra peaks. In fact, BJP has shared video of Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister and BJP leader Fadnavis's bag being checked after Uddhav Thackeray led Shiv Sena alleged bias. Dense smog blanket covers the national capital region. In fact, flight operations have also been hit as 8 flights have been diverted. Air quality remains very poor in this category. Voting is underway in 43 seats as part of phase 1 elections in Jharkhand. Voter turnout is at 29% till 11 a.m. Both JMM and BJP have shown confidence. Violence in West Bengal on Bipole Day. TMC ward chief has been shot at in Bhatpada. EC has sought action taken report, though it has added that the violence does not seem to be poll related. Strong words by Supreme Court on bulldozer justice. In fact, detailed guidelines have been issued by the top court. The top court's stern message to states now, SC in fact has fixed responsibility for arbitrary demolition. In fact, it has slammed states for arbitrary bulldozer action, and it has also issued detailed guidelines for demolitions. It has said that right to shelter is a fundamental right. Top court saying there officially that officials involved in demolitions have to be personally held accountable. It has also said that abuse of power cannot be spared. Joining me now is my colleague Sunil Prabhu with more details on this. Important and stern words there by the Supreme Court, Sunil, and this was in some ways expected, giving the direction in which the court was headed in the last few days of hearing. Also tell us a little bit about the guidelines and the big takeaways from what the court said today.
Well, as you rightly said, this was expected. This was nothing that was coming as a surprise. In fact, the outgoing Chief Justice of India had given, a judgment a few days ago, which really endorses what Justice Gavai as well as Justice KV Viswanathan have done today. What have they done? They've said that the executive cannot become and cannot start imparting justice. They've also made it absolutely clear in the judgment, the guidelines, that there will have to be stringent procedures to be followed. 15 days notice, appellate authority. You can't just start demolishing as we've seen in the state of Uttar Pradesh, or for that matter Delhi, or for that matter Madhya Pradesh, and the list carries on. These are pan-Indian guidelines where you can't start as they point out, continuing to demolish people's houses just because they're convicted or because they're accused of a crime. And it's in that context they've said 15 days guideline. There will be a portal which will have to be set up within 3 months, and those who don't comply, those officers will be penalized personally, and this will be seen as contempt of court. So it's in that context that the heavens will not fall, as they say. Municipal laws will have to be adhered to, notices will have to be issued, and the semblance of justice, the bulldozer justice which is seen in Uttar Pradesh, in Madhya Pradesh and other states will have to stop. There will be guidelines that will be followed. The Supreme Court has now made it clear. This, of course, as you're well aware, the Solicitor General had argued against the staying of these bulldozer cases, but the Supreme Court was very firm right from day one when they had issued a nationwide staying on this entire issue. And now the guidelines and the directions have come, and no less than Justice Gavai, reading out a poem from the beginning of his judgment to show that the right to shelter is an important aspect of a fundamental right for people and seeing women and children on the streets is not a good sight to see.
Important words there by the Supreme Court today. Thank you, Sunil, for joining us. Also, Kapil Sankla, advocate, and also KK Rai, who's also a lawyer, join us to discuss this. Mr. Sankla, coming to you first, the court has categorically said that the executive running a bulldozer over laws of the land, and this is something that cannot be tolerated, and that the executive cannot be judged here. But demolitions have continued despite the court's displeasure and disapproval. How does one stop that? Are the court's words enough in many ways?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Should I reply?
Yes.
It is a welcome judgment by the Supreme Court. But in Uttar Pradesh, this state has become the capital of bulldozer injustice, where the hundreds of the houses will be bulldozed without any reason, without any notice, without any acceptable ground. Okay. And one of the worst cases of demolition was the house of Javed Muhammad. The house does not belong to him. House is owned by his wife, but without giving any notice or any time or any, as statutes provides for the 30 days for the appeals, the administration in a most barbaric and inhuman manner raised the house to the ground. And it is not the only case. There is case of Tawhid Fatma. There is hundreds of other cases. And most of the victims, most of the houses belong to the minority community. Either they are Muslims or they are OBC, Yadavas, Kurmis. And it is all a political vengeance. Now, our Chief Minister Yogi ji is infamous for this bulldozer injustice, for the fake encounters, for the custodial deaths, and all kind of lawlessness is being set large by the UP government. The students are being lathi charged for the.
Let me go across to Mr. Sankla. Mr. Sankla, the most important aspect of something like this is also that state governments that say that they act sternly against antisocial elements are the ones who are also doing this. So in some ways, this is also one way by governments to gain political mileage, and it is people who elect these governments in place. So are the judges' words or the court's words enough to stop demolitions, or we need to also build a sense of understanding amongst people to ensure that this doesn't take place? Mr. Sankla? I think we'll try.
I'm waiting.
Okay, we'll try connecting with him in a bit. Mr. Roy, would you like to take that, sir? How will you explain to people what the courts are saying? Because if this is being supported by governments, the governments are elected by people.
The shamelessness of this UP government is that even after the order of the Supreme Court, the senior most cabinet minister, Mr. A.K. Sharma, has made a statement that their policy of using bulldozers shall continue. Such kind of defamatory and the contemptuous attitude of the government. But I will ask a further question, apart from the guideline, that the court should also think of ordering the government to reconstruct those houses who were illegally demolished. Our UP Urban Building Development Act does not provide any provision for the demolition. It is either to seal the house or to compound it, to impose some fine and to regularize it. The law does not say any...
Can you hear us? And what are your views on this, sir? And also the guidelines that have come out now, and chief secretaries have also been informed. Court has also clarified that these directions will not be applicable if there is any unauthorized structure. How much of all of this do you see as being implemented?
Yes, that's correct. That is also the content of...
Okay, I think we've lost him again. So this is an important judgment by the Supreme Court, a court that has been, the top court has been hearing this case for a while now, and today it has come out with a set of guidelines. It's something that the states will be asked to follow very strictly, saying that bulldozer justice is not the way forward. In fact, this is the top court's stern message to states. Moving on to, I think, the most important news that the capital should be talking about today, Delhi's first dense fog this season. It's a deadly duo of smog and pollution. In fact, visibility still is low in many parts of the city. Delhi's air quality is still very poor in many parts. Delhi's flight operations have been hit badly due to smog. At least 8 flights have been diverted. Heavy smog blankets Delhi and NCR. Toxic air is what has engulfed Delhi, and there has been an AQI of 406 that has also been recorded. 5 Air India flights have been diverted today, and flight operations have also been impacted. In fact, 7 Delhi flights have been diverted to Jaipur. 1 Delhi flight has been diverted to Lucknow, and pollution hotspots in Delhi include Anand Vihar and Punjabi Bagh. Just to sum up, it's a dense smog that has engulfed Delhi and its surrounding areas since morning today, with visibility dropping and air quality settling in the very poor category. Few flights have also been diverted at the Delhi airport due to low visibility conditions, and these include Air India flights. According to data by CBC, Central Pollution Control Board, city's AQI was measured at 361 at 8 a.m. But there are also areas where the AQI went beyond 400. For instance, there was Anand Vihar that was at 399, which was very poor, and there was also Ayanagar police station, which had the worst air quality with at around 417. In fact, a persistent layer of smog has covered Delhi and nearby areas, affecting visibility and raising severe health concerns. Look at those visuals there from the first smog season of Delhi, a toxic combination of smog and pollution. And it's in fact been harder for pollutants to disperse. In fact, CPCB has also said that AQI in many places has gone beyond 400, affecting visibility and most importantly raising critical health concerns for specifically children and the elderly population in the country. There were at least multiple visibility conditions in the city, and IMD also said that a dense fog had engulfed the city around 5:30 a.m. and few flights had also to be diverted at the Delhi airport due to low visibility conditions, and these include 1 Delhi flight to Lucknow, and 7 Delhi flights have been diverted to Jaipur. Flight operations have also been impacted. In fact, 5 Air India flights have been diverted today. The AQI was 406 in many places. This is after a heavy smog blanketed Delhi and NCR early today morning. Moving on to some political stories, a day after a political row erupted over a routine check of Shiv Sena-led Uddhav Thackeray-led Shiv Sena chief Uddhav Thackeray's bag, the BJP today posted a video of airport security frisking of Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister and BJP leader Devendra Fadnavis's bag, and it took a swipe at Thackeray, alleging that some leaders have a habit of showing off. Remember, Shiv Sena led by UBT had said that only bags of opposition leaders were being checked. This after Uddhav Thackeray's bags were checked 2 times in 2 days. But BJP now has slammed MVA, saying that not just them, even ruling parties' leaders' bags also get checked. They have in fact posted a video of Devendra Fadnavis's bag being checked at the airport as part of security security protocol. EC sources, remember, had said that the team was just following SOPs and protocols. Sources have also said that JP Nadda, BJP President, and Amit Shah, who's the Home Minister of the country, their bags also get checked during 2024 Lok Sabha polls, and that there was nothing wrong in checking bags and that only protocol was being followed. This is what Deputy Chief Minister had said, adding that election officials followed same procedures with his campaign team too. What is wrong with checking of bags? That's what BJP had said while posting this video of Devendra Fadnavis's bag being checked at the airport. Moving on to some stories from the south of India, in a significant development regarding the attempt to attack Vikarabad District Collector BRS former MLA Patnam Narendra Reddy was arrested by police in connection with Monday's attack on Vikarabad District Collector Pratik Jain and other officials. In fact, Narendra Reddy was reportedly taken into custody from KBR Park and shifted to police station. According to reports, his brother Mahendra Reddy is in Congress. He was reportedly taken in custody when he was on his morning walk.
What is significant is that the attack happened in the constituency of the Chief Minister, which is Kodangal. That is where this Cherla village falls, and it is in, of course, Vikarabad district. And day before yesterday, on Monday, the collector and his team had gone there, organized a kind of a Praja Darbar in order to get people's opinion regarding a land acquisition. 1310 acres was to be acquired for a pharma city in that area. And now the arrest, or rather taking into custody of the former Kodangal MLA, Mr. Narendra Reddy, Patnam Narendra Reddy, who has in fact defeated in the past Revant Reddy from Kodangal in 2018. His link is being made to the attack that happened on the collector and his team. There was a person identified as Suresh who had urged the collector and the team members to go about 1.5 kilometers away, where he said the villagers had gathered instead of the original place where the pandal had been put up by the district authorities, in order to gather people's opinion on the land acquisition, to look after their apprehensions and address their grievances as well with regard to land acquisition. What happened was that the police have found that this Suresh was in fact belonging to the BRS. Not just that, they also say that he had spoken multiple times to Mr. Patnam Narendra Reddy over phone. Whether Mr. Narendra Reddy had given any direct instructions with regard to the disturbance and tensions that happened on Monday, that is being probed by the police. The second aspect is that after the collector and his team in their vehicles reached the spot where the villagers were there, the allegation is that they were already ready with the stones and the sticks, and that even before a negotiation could start or tensions rise in that manner, the attack had begun within minutes of the collector landing there, and therefore this is being thought of as something that was well planned and organized, and therefore being called as a political conspiracy. I spoke to the senior minister Sridhar Babu regarding this, and he said this is very clearly a political conspiracy in order to stop development projects in the state, and that's why the BRS had seems to have been hand in glove with those who have created violence and tension in that area. 4 officers were injured, and the government was going to take a very serious view on this issue. Pharma city in that area which was to come up was acquiring this land, and we are being told now that it is not just pharma units that were to come up, but other units as well, and the government believes that there is a conspiracy to bring disrepute to the government as well as to stop these development projects. So we are likely to see more developments in this issue. As of now, 16 people were yesterday sent to judicial remand after about 55 people being taken into custody and being questioned, and we are expecting that at least 6 more people who have been questioned may also be detained by the police, and we also are being told that the former MLA and 4 others are likely to be arrested and remanded as well. Back to you.
Well, a day after political row erupted over a routine check of Shiv Sena UBT chief Uddhav Thackeray's bag, the BJP today posted a video of airport security frisking of Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis's bag, and the party took a swipe at Thackeray, alleging that some leaders just have a habit of showing off. This is after Shiv Sena, led by UBT, had said that only bags of opposition leaders are being checked. BJP has slammed MBA, saying that this was part of protocol and that Fadnavis's and Mr. Gadkari's bags also get checked regularly. Joining us now is my colleague Radhika from Mumbai. Radhika, election activity has peaked in Mumbai, and Anuj also joins us now. Radhika, to you first. Tell us about this latest attack by the BJP on the MVA, because this also fits into the Namdar versus Kamdar narrative that the PM has set long back, making it clear that the BJP is different from a family of dynasts.
Yes, absolutely. As far as the entire tug of war over bag checking is concerned, we know for a fact that BJP has responded with a video stating that it's not just the opposition leaders' bags that get checked, but also Devendra Fadnavis's bag also getting checked. Of course, this has become a big political controversy of sorts, especially after Uddhav Thackeray came up with those two videos, one at Yavatmal and another in Latur, whereby he has alleged that only opposition leaders' bags get checked. In fact, in those videos, we could see Uddhav Thackeray clashing with the EC officials, stating why they do not check the bags of several of the ruling party leaders, which is when BJP decided to put out that video of Devendra Fadnavis's bag getting checked in Kolhapur. This BJP says was taken on November 5. Also, sort of taking a dig at the Congress party, particularly within MVA, of course, Uddhav Thackeray as well, saying that it's not enough to carry the constitution, copy of the constitution, but constitutional norms have also to be followed, which the BJP says it follows, which the EC officials say they follow. Of course, EC also responding to it, saying that protocols are being followed and it is a level playing field. It's not just the opposition leaders' bags that get checked, but also BJP leaders' bags that get checked. Again, there is a response to that as well, Vasudha. Just now, the NCP Sharad Pawar member leader also put out a tweet saying, this video that has been put up by BJP of Maharashtra of Devendra Fadnavis's bag getting checked by EC officials is something that was taken perhaps post Uddhav Thackeray's allegation, although BJP continues to maintain that it was taken on November 5, even before all these allegations surfaced. Now, of course, the politics is intensifying with the leaders saying that this was taken post, the outcry over bag checking by Uddhav Thackeray. Yes, it will be interesting to see how Uddhav Thackeray responds to these, a new video that has been put out by the BJP at the moment.
Right. So this is quite tricky because sometimes we often don't know when the video is from, but of course this is politics, and political activity has only intensified in Maharashtra. Anuj, how do you read the subtext of the BJP's attack on UBT Shiv Sena with a video saying that everybody's bags get checked, especially ruling parties, leaders' bags also get checked. So there's no reason for the opposition to complain about this.
The response from the Bharatiya Janata Party was always expected, especially after the second video from Uddhav Thackeray came out from Latur. And we've seen that right from today morning, two videos or two instances have been put out by the official pages of the Bharatiya Janata Party. One of Devendra Fadnavis and the other of Union Minister Nitin Gadkari, where they've talked about how this is just a routine check. And they're basically trying to bust the whole narrative of the MVA trying to pose the Election Commission of India as an unfair referee. There has been an attempt being made by the MVA parties right since the Lok Sabha elections to try and show that there has not been a level playing field. Yesterday we saw that after the Uddhav Thackeray second video went viral, reactions came in from Sharad Pawar as well, who said that this creates a perception which does not go very much in favor with the Bharatiya Janata Party. But now, as you said before, the doubts over when exactly was the video of Devendra Fadnavis shot remains to be seen, because if the video was never to be posted by any social media platform from the Bharatiya Janata Party, then why was the video shot in the first place, right? So all of these are the questions that the Mahavikas Aghadi will ask, but then this is a much bigger debate about the level playing field and rather the perception that the Election Commission of India is showing at the moment, just days before the elections here in the state.
Right. Radhika, also help us understand what is likely to happen today, because JP Nadda, the president of the BJP, is also in Mumbai today. So is Amit Shah. Amit Shah, in fact, is in Maharashtra today, and he was in Mumbai yesterday. Tell us what is expected on the election campaign front when it comes to Mahavikas Aghadi and also Mahayuti.
So certainly political campaigns, of course, heating up in Maharashtra, and it has, in a sense, reached its crescendo as it's just 1 week away from Maharashtra Assembly elections. All the big leaders, top guns, of course, descending to different parts of Maharashtra. We know for a fact that Prime Minister Modi held multiple rallies over the last few days. He will be holding a rally in Mumbai as well, which is the highly anticipated rally on November 14th. Rahul Gandhi also expected to be here. Priyanka Gandhi also expected to be here. As far as today's schedule is concerned, yes, JP Nadda to hold rallies in South Bombay. He is expected to meet several illustrious people from South Bombay. That's what the BJP had been saying, that he will be meeting multiple residents, lawyers, doctors from South Bombay, and of course after which he will be moving towards Shirdi. That's as far as JP Nadda's program is concerned. Yes, Amit Shah once again in the state of Maharashtra. He is holding rallies in several places, including Jintur, Chalisgaon, as well as Shinkeda. Of course, he is going to the agrarian belt once again. This is where farmers' distress is at its peak. He will, of course, be holding rallies and will be, of course, appealing to the farmer community, and also speaking about the different schemes as far as, women-centric, youth-centric and farmer-centric schemes are concerned. It had been guarantees versus guarantees reigning in the state of Maharashtra, be it from Mahayuti side or MVA side. And besides Amit Shah and JP Nadda, the other leaders who are going to be holding rallies, the national leaders are going to be holding rallies include Piyush Goyal, of course, and also Jyotiraditya Scindia. And in the next few days, there is going to be Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi once again making their way to the state of Maharashtra. So certainly, political
so all leaders there
heat,
descending in Maharashtra. Thank you so much, Radhika, for those critical details. Also, Anuj, for joining us with those nuances. Moving on to other stories, the Taliban has appointed Ikramuddin Kamil as the acting consul in Afghan mission in Mumbai in the wake of Taliban takeover in 2021. Remember, India had pulled out its diplomats from the mission in Kabul, whereas Afghan diplomats manning the embassy in New Delhi left India and sought asylum in different Western countries. Responding to the appointment, India has said that it doesn't recognize Taliban government of Afghanistan. In fact, Ikramuddin Kamil had studied in India for 7 years while completing his doctorate from South Asia University on a MEA scholarship, has agreed to function as a diplomat in the Afghan consulate. My colleague Mohammad Ghazali has more details on this. Ghazali, what is this latest move by Taliban, and how do you read this, and how do you read India's response to the new appointment?
See, it is a very balanced approach from India, because India doesn't recognize Taliban's government in Afghanistan since it took over in 2021. But a year later, in 2022, India has deployed a technical team for humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan. And even last week, Joint Secretary of PIA Division, Pakistan, Iran and Afghanistan, Mr. JP Singh met senior officials of Taliban in Kabul. And just immediately after that, last week the meeting happened, and yesterday Taliban appointed Ikramuddin Kamil as the acting Consul General of Mumbai. The unofficial statement, or the sources in the MEA confirmed that India is more concerned about the humanitarian assistance. The government knows that there are many Afghanistani people or Afghanis here in Delhi who need consul services here, visa services, and that is why they have no objection to his appointment as such. But an official word is still awaited whether India accepts his appointment as the acting Consul General in Mumbai. And we know that India has been extending humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan. Afghanistan also happens to be a very key state when it comes to the geopolitics in the Southeast Asia here, because last week when Mr. JP Singh, the Joint Secretary of PIA Division of the External Affairs Ministry, was in Kabul, he also spoke about that how Afghani businessmen or the tradesmen can be engaged in the Chabahar port, for which India has also got the maintenance for the next 10 years. So these developments show that perhaps India doesn't officially recognize Taliban's government in Afghanistan, but it certainly is concerned about people-to-people connect in Afghanistan by providing humanitarian assistance, by engaging Afghani tradesmen in trade as well, and also by continuing the communication channels open with Taliban in Afghanistan.
Right. Thank you, Ghazali, for joining us with those details. India indeed playing the balancing act there, even as Taliban makes a very important appointment. Time for a short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president.
Donald triumphs. What does Trump's win mean for America, for the world, for the wars, and for India-US relations? Non-stop coverage on NDTV. Top analysts and voices from the ground. Extensive coverage on NDTV.
We reached an agreement on patrolling. We have gone back to where the situation was in 2020, and we can say with that the disengagement process with China, you can say, has been completed. The understanding, to my knowledge, is that we will be able to do the patrolling which we were doing in 2020.
शिवाजी महाराज की
यांचा अजेंडा फक्त करप्शन फर्स्ट आमचा अजेंडा आहे नेशन फर्स्ट
घोषणा आणि जनतेचे पैसे लुटणं
कट कमिशन आणि करप्शनला आमच्याकडे थारा नाही त्यांचा परिवारवाद आमचा
महाराष्ट्रामध्ये 1,75,000 जागा रिक्त आहेत पण का भरत नाही राज्याची जनतेच्या घमाच्या पैशाची तिजोरी लुटण्यासाठी हे सरकार आहे
पूर्वीच्या सरकारच्या काळामध्ये निधी देताना त्यांना असं वाटायचं की त्यांच्याच खिशातले पैसे चालले शेतकऱ्यांना मोफत वीज देण्याचं काम आपल्या सरकारने सुरू केलं
It's a web of frauds. Calls, luring emails, threatening messages. Cyber frauds have cast their net wide and everyone is at risk. We track the victims, their horror stories as they get conned online, extorted and robbed of their hard-earned money. How to identify a cyber fraud and how to stay cyber safe. What are your options? Fraud.con. Only on NDTV 24/7.
Over to some breaking news now. Chennai doctor has been stabbed in a Chennai hospital now in an unfortunate incident. In fact, this is quite tragic. This doctor was stabbed in a Chennai hospital by assailants who posed as patients. He was stabbed multiple times is what we know. My colleague Sam Daniel has more details on this. Sam, whole of August and September, there were protests across the country on safety of doctors, especially in workplaces. And this is clearly the kind of incident that they were talking about. Tell us, what do we know about this particular incident, about this Chennai doctor being stabbed multiple times?
Vasudha, a well-known oncologist working at the government Kalangar Centenary Hospital in Gindi, Chennai, was stabbed multiple times, allegedly by a youngster who also police and doctors say is an attender of a patient undergoing chemotherapy in that hospital. And this doctor was stabbed at least 7 times in the outpatient hall. Initial inquiries revealed that this youngster suspected that his mother was given wrong treatment, and that's why he had used a little knife he had brought hidden to the hospital to stab the doctor. The doctor has been identified as Dr. Balaji, a well-known oncologist. He's now stable in the intensive care unit of the hospital, and the Tamil Nadu Health Minister has confirmed he is stable, and he also has spoken to him. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, in a statement, has expressed shock. He has also ordered for an investigation into what went wrong, and also to ensure he has assured that steps would be taken to avert this kind of an incident happening again in the future. And initial investigation investigation reveals that this youngster has been visiting the hospital on a regular basis as an attendant to his mother. And that's why there was no question of suspicion over his motives. And in a statement, M.K. Stalin has also said the role and service of doctors to treat hundreds of patients visiting government hospitals is laudable, and it's important their safety is ensured. And it's this kind of situation that doctors, particularly after the incident in Kolkata, they had raised, particularly to ensure that the movement of people into government hospitals or any hospital ought to be restricted. Installation of CCTVs, and this is a state-of-art new hospital. In terms of security arrangements, authorities say it's up to the mark. But this is something unexpected. But only after police's investigation, we would get to know whether there was any other lapse. But initial reports suggest that this person had the confidence of doctors and all who treat in the hospital because he has been a regular visitor. But he suspected that the hospital had given some kind of a wrong treatment for his mother, and that he had taken that anger on the doctor. But certainly many tough questions, but initial limited information at the moment.
Right. Thank you, Sam Daniel, for joining us. This clearly is a developing story. We'll keep coming back to you. Unfortunate incident there in Chennai. An oncologist has been stabbed multiple times by assailants who posed as patients. Of course, investigation is on. The CM of Tamil Nadu has also issued a stern message. Moving on to some poll-bound states, election to the 81-member state legislative assembly in Jharkhand began today morning with polling across 43 assembly constituencies. This is the first phase of elections in Jharkhand. In fact, 29.3% voter turnout has been recorded until 11 a.m. On Wednesday. In fact, this is happening in 43 assembly constituencies. ECI has made security arrangements as 950 polling booths have been identified as sensitive across 31 constituencies. The campaign in Jharkhand, remember, was centered around tribal identity. BJP alleging widespread infiltration by people from Bangladesh leading to reduction in tribal population, and both BJP and JMM pushing welfare agenda. In Jharkhand, the ruling JMM has fielded 23 candidates in this phase, and its allies Congress and RJD have put forward 17 and 5 candidates. Opposition BJP has 36 candidates, while JDU and Bahujan Samaj Party have also named candidates. Now, the second phase of elections will be held on the 20th of November. The outcome will be known on the 23rd of November. There are big faces whose face will be sealed in today's EVM machines, and these include former Chief Minister of Jharkhand and JMM leader, now who is with the BJP now, Champai Soren. We also have in Jamshedpur East, Congress leader Ajay Kumar pitted against Purnima Das Sahu, who is a daughter-in-law of former Jharkhand Chief Minister and Odisha Governor Raghubar Das. Let's look at some political reactions to this story before going across to my colleague Prabhakar, who has been tracking Jharkhand elections.
आज जो हमने मतदान किया है इस बात को ध्यान में रखते हुए राज्य के भविष्य को हम उज्जवल भविष्य की तरफ कैसे ले जाएं। हमें आशा है कि इसी तरीके से खरसवां की जनता मतदान आज कर रहे हैं और हमारे प्रत्याशी जीतेंगे।
आज हम लोगों ने अपने अपने मतदान केंद्र में जा कर के अपने मतों को प्रयोग किया और मैं राज्य के हर एक नागरिक से अपील करता हूं कि इस महापर्व को और इस लोकतंत्र के इस व्यवस्था को हम लोग और मजबूत करें।
भाजपा गठबंधन जो है ना, उसी का जीत है, विजय है, इसमें कोई किंतु परंतु नहीं है। देखिए, मुद्दा तो यही है, झारखंड क्षेत्र में सबसे अहम मुद्दा है बांग्लादेशी घुसपैठ, बेरोजगार जो बहाली नहीं हो पाया, सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा है। यहाँ इरिगेशन का काम नहीं बढ़ा पाया, बेरोजगार को रोजगार नहीं, राज्य में सिर्फ भ्रष्टाचारी, ये सब तो बड़ा मुद्दा है।
महिला सुरक्षा मेरी प्रायोरिटी रहेगी। भी लगातार काम कर रही हूँ। हर दिन महिला मुद्दों पर मैं महिलाओं को तरह तरह की परेशानियों से बचाने का काम करती हूँ। आने वाले समय में भी करूँगी और हर एक क्लास के लिए काम करूँगी। हर एक जैसे बुजुर्गों के लिए, युवाओं के लिए, युवतियों के लिए, बच्चियों के लिए, हर एक के लिए कि मतदान निश्चित रूप से करना चाहिए क्योंकि ये बहुत ही कीमती है।
My colleague Prabhakar joins us with more details on this. Prabhakar, tell us about the big faces whose fate will be sealed today. Apart from Champai Soren, who are the big names that you can think of, and what are the issues that actually centered this campaign?
See, as far as the big faces are concerned, remember there are two regions of Jharkhand which are going to polls today. One is the Kulhan region, which is in and around Jamshedpur, and another is the Ranchi, adjoining areas of Ranchi. As far as the big faces are concerned, you have Champai Soren in fray, you have his son in fray, and then you also have Babulal Marandi's family members. You have Arjun Munda's wife contesting election. Then you have Geeta Koda contesting election. So there are many big names actually whose fate would be decided today. You have Raghuvar Das's daughter-in-law who is contesting from Jamshedpur. So their fate will be sealed today. As far as the election agenda is concerned, the narrative which the BJP and the JMM has set on the ground, it revolves around three major issues. One is luring of the tribal vote bank, because tribals are the decisive vote bank as far as Jharkhand is concerned. That's the reason why the BJP has been talking about the Bangladeshi infiltrators. They have been talking about how those Bangladeshi infiltrators are being helped by JMM and how those infiltrators are eating into the resources meant for tribals. So it's basically a war cry to tribals that the JMM is not a protector of their interests. So it's the BJP which is calling for their cause. Now also, apart from the tribals, it's the women voters which are the center stage of the narrative, the poll narrative on their ground. The kind of freebies which were announced by JMM, introduced by JMM, called Maiya Samman Yojana, where they were getting a monthly stipend of 1,000 rupees. That has been promised by BJP that if they are voted to power, they would enhance it to 2,100 rupees under Go Didi Yojana. And counter to that, JMM has said that they would enhance it further to 2,500 rupees. So that is one way of getting women voters on their side. And also the BJP has promised that if they are voted to power, they would waive off the registry fee if any property is registered in the name of the women members of the family. Right. They're also not leaving out youth. So it's basically tribal youth and women.
Right. Thank you, Prabhakar, for joining us with those details. It's welfare versus welfare, but 43 seats in spotlight there. The first phase of elections will get over today in Jharkhand. The second phase, of course, will happen on the 20th of November. But there are also 31 other assembly constituencies across 10 states that are witnessing by-polls today. Very crucial by-polls because these are for MLAs who became MPs and hence the seats fell vacant. In fact, there's a direct fight between the Congress party and JDS in Chennapatna by-poll in Karnataka. It's a prestige battle. Union Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy's son, Nikhil Kumaraswamy, is fighting against local war horse and Congress candidate C.P. Yogeshwar. Now, this is a battle of political survival for Kumaraswamy and also for Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, D.K. Shivakumar. This is an opportunity to settle scores after his brother lost the Bengaluru rural Lok Sabha seat in 2024 elections. Now, that is a seat that also covers Chennapatna. In Karnataka, Nikhil Kumaraswamy is contesting from this seat, but there's also another important candidate, Basavaraj Bommai's son, Bharat Bommai, is contesting from Shigaon. Remember, Mr. Basavaraj Bommai is an MP from Haveri now. His seat has fallen vacant and he will face, in fact, Bharat Bommai will face Congress candidate Yasir Ahmed. My colleagues spoke to Mr. Bharat Bommai and also to C.P. Yogeshwar. Let's listen into what they said.
We have with us the Congress candidate from Chennapatna, Mr. C.P. Yogeshwar. Sir, not as a candidate, but as a voter today, what were the key issues that you had in mind before casting your vote?
Because in the state of Karnataka, the Congress government is ruling. So I am a ruling government candidate. So I hope I am going to win this election. Because always by election to the favor of the because the acting government only. I hope this election is favored to me.
So last time, even after facing defeat, you did bring water to Channapatna. This time, what are the key issues that you have in mind to do for Channapatna?
A lot of development issues are there because our constituency people have a lot of hopes on H.D. Kumaraswamy, but he didn't deliver the things. So the anti-incumbency is against Kumaraswamy. So a lot of issues are there because the government is with me. The government, I am the part of the government. So I hope I will do many things to my people.
So this time, do you think that this election will be a big turnaround for all the parties concerned here?
Definitely, madam. Politically, this is a very important game. That too, word Mysore region. This is the test for the government performance.
Thank you so much. This is definitely going to be a litmus test as far as the parties here are concerned, and that has been a statement emphasized by the candidate here, Mr. C.P. Yogeshwar.
Response has been tremendous. Wherever I've gone in the constituency, the love and affection what people have shown, I'll be indebted to them for my life.
Pratibha, tell us a little bit about the three constituencies that are witnessing by-polls today, and also specifically about the candidate Yogeshwar that you spoke with. It's interesting that he was in the BJP earlier, now he's with the Congress party, and he is of course fronting this prestige battle between D.K. Shivakumar and H.D. Kumaraswamy.
Well, to answer the first part of your question, the three important constituencies here which are getting into the by-poll mode is Shigaon as well as Sandur as well as Channapatna here. And as far as Shigaon and Sandur are concerned, in fact, all the three constituencies were left vacant by one of the MLAs who went on to become an MP, a Congress candidate or an MLA from Sandur, and then there was a BJP candidate from Shigaon and JDS candidate from Channapatna. Talking about Channapatna here, yes, it is going to be an interesting battle because there is a prestige battle that is being fought by the DK brothers. Like you already mentioned, yes, DK Shivkumar trying to settle scores after the defeat of his brother at the Bengaluru rural Lok Sabha seat. And on the other hand, you have H.D. Kumaraswamy. Both of them, both DK Shivkumar and Kumaraswamy, are top Vocaliga leaders in Karnataka. And we are talking about Channapatna, which is a Vocaliga dominated region. When you talk of the old Mysuru region, which covers anywhere from Channapatna, Ramnagara to Mysuru, all of this entire belt was owned by JDS. It was dominated by the JDS party, but it has now been brought down to one assembly constituency, that is Channapatna, that was won by H.D. Kumaraswamy the last two terms. And this time around, if this battle of political survival is not there, you wouldn't be seeing H.D. Kumaraswamy heavily campaigning here. On the other hand, you have D.K. Shivkumar, who's taken a personal interest to settle scores, and talking about C.P. Yogeshwar, interesting candidate, a local from here, and he has faced several defeats but is also a five-time MLA. He has definitely done a lot of development work as well over here, so it is going to be definitely an interesting battle between Yogeshwar and Nikhil Kumaraswamy. Back to you.
Right. Thank you, Pratibha, for joining us with those details. Interesting battle in the constituency of Toys, Channapatna there, and of course the future of JDS hangs by the fire. Moving on to other states, in fact, more by-poll stories. In the fallout, the shadow of widespread protests on the Arjika rape and murder case, by-elections for 6 assembly seats in West Bengal are taking place today, and this is being done in the midst of deployment of at least 108 companies of CAPF forces. The state's opposition parties, which include BJP and also left parties, are trying to corner the TMC over the horrible rape and murder that took place on the 9th of August. Remember, many questions were raised on the state government's handling of the case. 5 of the by-poll seats that will witness voting today were won by TMC in 2021 assembly elections. In fact, just one was won by the BJP. The TMC leadership, on the other hand, has said that the impact of urban protests over Arjikar issue will not have any impact on the rural and semi-urban voters that are voting in these by-elections. But the BJP and Congress and BJP, Congress and TMC have all fielded candidates for all the 6 seats. Well, Bengal violence has also peaked even as by-polls are going on in 6 seats. TMC war chief has been shot at in Bhatpara, and miscreants, what we understand, opened fire this morning. This is an area that has been prone to violence. Reports have also said that crude bombs were hurled, and EC has now sought an action-taken report. Bhatpara is Arjun Singh's stronghold. Arjun Singh is somebody who has had this habit of changing parties. He's with the BJP now. He's been with the TMC for many years in the past. EC sources have confirmed that this violence that took place today morning was not in a by-poll constituency, and it was not really related to the polls. But this happened today, and this happened in Bhatpara, which is seen as the stronghold of local strongman Arjun Singh. Moving on to some global news, Elon Musk and former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy will lead the newly created Department of Government Efficiency. Donald Trump has said this. Despite the name, department will not be a government agency. He said that in a statement that Elon Musk and Ramaswamy will work from outside the government to offer the White House advice and guidance, and will partner with the Office of Management and Budget to drive large-scale structural reforms and also create an entrepreneurial approach to the government, that something that it has not seen before. He also added that the move would shock government systems. According to Donald Trump, this will drive out massive waste and fraud from the government. During his victory speech, if you remember, Donald Trump had praised Musk and he had described him as an amazing and super genius guy. He also mentioned that the billionaire spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania campaigning for him. In fact, he had thanked him profusely. My colleague Disha has more details on this.
In terms of this appointment and this announcement, Musk, as we know, is one of the richest men in the world, and now is expected to have even more influence on politics with this appointment. Now, there have been some concerns raised that given Musk leads various companies from Tesla, SpaceX, X and others, will this raise some concerns, the potential concerns over conflict of interest, given that Tesla has various, government contracts. Now, to talk about a little bit about what the Department of Efficiency will look like, government efficiency will look like, this is not going to be a federal group. This is going to be an informal position, an informal role, and will look at advising the White House in collaboration with the Office of Management and Budget to reduce government spending as well as improve, as the name suggests, government efficiency. So a key thing to note is that because this role will be informal, it does not, both Vivek Ramaswamy as well as Elon Musk will not require any approval from the Senate because of these roles are informal in nature. Now, it also means that they will not be under any federal regulations which do require that certain information about their assets and liabilities are revealed. Because they're not going to be federal employees, this information will not also have to be revealed. So these are some of the interesting points about this appointment. And, as you mentioned, Musk has played a very key role in Trump's presidential campaign this time round. In fact, Musk's super PAC spent over $200 million to support Donald Trump's campaign, even going ahead and giving these giveaways to various voters who shared information in related to the election campaign. So now that he has been appointed along with Vivek Ramaswamy, it's going to be interesting to see how these two people go ahead with this appointment. So back to you.
Right. Thank you, Disha, for joining us with those details. Important announcements with implications for India there made by Donald Trump, who's the President-elect of the United States of America. Moving on to the world of sports, India skips Asian boxing to avoid IOC ire. In fact, India has skipped IBA organized tournament. IOC had suspended IBA, remember, Indian Boxing Association. A new world body has now been formed. IOC recognizes the new body. To recap for our viewers, India has skipped Asian boxing to avoid IOC ire and Indian Boxing Association. organized tournament is what India has skipped now. And remember, IOC was the international body that had suspended IBA. A new world body has been formed and IOC recognizes the new body. Rika, my colleague, joins us with more details. Rika, tell us a little bit about India skipping the organized tournament, IB organized tournament. Why was this done and what is the context to this?
Well, the Indian Boxing Federation has decided not to send a team to Amman for the Asian Elite Men's and Boxing Championship, and that's because it is being organized by a body called IBA, or International Boxing Association, which has been suspended by IOC, or the International Olympic Committee, due to a lack of financial transparency. Now, if had India sent a team, then it could have invited IOC's ire. There is a separate international body that has been found, an umbrella organization to manage the sport of boxing, which is called the World Boxing Body. That is still work in progress. Once that is constituted and once they are able to organize tournament, India will send their teams, because that gives them a chance for boxers to appear in world championships, qualify for the Olympic Games. The current body that is at war with IOC will not enable participation under their umbrella, will not enable the Indian boxers go places in terms of the sport. It will not enable them to participate in bigger tournaments. That is why, for the moment, the Indian body has decided not to send men and women boxers to the Asian Elite League.
Thank you, Rika, for joining us with those details. Important update there. India has skipped Asian boxing to avoid IOC ire. It has skipped IBA organized tournament. Thank you, Rika, for joining us. Time for a short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए,
in the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं.
NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
NDTV proudly presents NDTV World Summit 2024, the India Century. I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's inaugural session at the NDTV Summit outlined his vision for the India century, driven by aspirational India.
हमारा प्रयास होगा भारत की सेंचुरी सिर्फ भारत की नहीं, बल्कि पूरी मानवता की जीत की सेंचुरी बने.
The summit brought together prominent global leaders, highlighting India's pivotal role on the world stage.
Not just Indians trusting India's leadership, but the global South especially trusting India's leadership.
Permanent seat on the UN Security Council is something that should be India's right.
Canada is concerned, I think there are some very specific issues. I think a lot of people know that.
AI is going to be one of the most important, drivers.
It's a very exciting time for India, Indian cinema as well at a global level.
NDTV World Summit was more than just a conversation. It was a confluence of ideas poised to shape our global future. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to
Politics over luggage checks as far as leaders in Maharashtra is concerned, and the BJP has come out with a reply to Uddhav Thackeray. It is the Deputy Chief Minister Narendra Fadnavis whose bag is being checked, and that is the video that the BJP has provided in an answer to the bias allegation of the UBT. A government doctor has been stabbed multiple times inside a hospital in Chennai. The cops have arrested the suspect. The youth was an attendant, and posing to be an attendant, actually it was his mother who had got treatment at that hospital, and he was there to take action against the doctor this is what he thought, that the mother had not got proper treatment and there were complications that had come out of her case. The Supreme Court lays down strict guidelines for demolition. The top court says no demolition can be carried out without a prior 15-day notice to the owner of the property, and violation of this could mean that officials will have to pay from their own salary. And Delhi's fog takes over. This is the first thick smog of the season that's come in unusually early. Something like this is only seen later in the year or perhaps early of January. But you can see the visibility was so badly impacted this morning due to the smog conditions. At least 10 flights had to be diverted on account of visibility issues due to the fog situation. And that is basically due to the pollution in the national capital. Voting underway in 43 seats in phase 1 of the Jharkhand elections. Voter turnout close to 30% till about 11 o'clock this morning, and both JMM and the BJP assert confidence. Hemant Soren there cast his vote along with his wife Kalpana Soren this morning, and on the other side Champai Soren casting his vote. He is fighting elections from the BJP for the first time. Violence in Bengal on the by-poll race. The TMC ward chief who's been shot at in Bhatpara. The Election Commission seeking action, adding that the violence does not seem to be poll-related. Let's just get your top story. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Divya Vadva. We have a whole lot lined up for you. A day after the political row over the routine check that had taken place of Shiv Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray's luggage that was checked, and of course he had questioned as to why was his luggage being checked. He'd also asked if the Prime Minister's luggage, the Home Minister's luggage, as well as the Chief Minister of the state of Maharashtra, whether his luggage was ever checked. Now the BJP today has gone ahead and posted a video of the airport security, the airport authorities there frisking the bag of Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister Devinder Fadnavis, who had also gone on to say that this is nothing but diversion. Diversion is being created by the UBT from the real issues, and they're trying to win votes by whining, is what Devinder Fadnavis had to say. And today the BJP they're posting that video from the airport. As far as Devinder Fadnavis is concerned, there with the authorities frisking his bag as well. He's also gone on to say that some leaders have a habit of showing off. That is what Devendra Fadnavis had to say. Now, do remember it was Uddhav Thackeray who'd gone on to say only bags of the opposition leaders are being checked. The BJP is slamming the MVA. This is what the government has gone on to say, that there was not just the Deputy Chief Minister's bag but also Nitin Gadkari's bag has been checked, and EC officials have gone on to say that they're doing nothing but following protocol, and that is exactly what happened yesterday when the bag was checked, and there were questions being raised as to what is really wrong with checking off bags and going through these protocols that are in place. Let's just listen in to some of the political reactions coming in.
Bharatiya Janata Party releasing the videos of their leaders' bags and helicopters being checked seems to be a farce. They have done this after Mr. Uddhav Thackeray ji exposed them and showed how particularly the opposition is being targeted and the bags that they carry were being checked. If the Election Commission is carrying out these kind of checks, it should be done. But what we want to say is that all these checkings should be done impartially across all parties.
Video posted by the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Fadnavis video that was posted by them is from the 5th of November, and it is in response to the allegations made by Uddhav Thackeray from Shiv Sena UBT when, in the last couple of days we saw that he was in Yavatmal and after that he was in Latur, where he posted videos of Election Commission officials checking his bags. And not just that, he also asked those officials about when was the last time they had checked bags of the Deputy Chief Minister here in the state, that is Devendra Fadnavis, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and the Prime Minister and Home Minister of the country. As a response to that, we saw that the Bharatiya Janata Party today have put two videos, firstly of Devendra Fadnavis from the 5th of November, where they've shown that Devendra Fadnavis's bags have been checked by the ECI officials. And after that we saw that Amit Malviya also posted a video where he also posted a tweet where he talked about how Nitin Gadkari, Union Minister's bags were also checked when he was campaigning here in Maharashtra. This is an add-on to what the Shinde Shiv Sena people have been saying, about the example they give is from the 2024 Lok Sabha elections when Mr. Eknath Shinde's helicopter was checked in Nashik. And these are the examples given by them to show that the Election Commission officers are basically doing their jobs and procedures, and there is no need for anyone to post a video in public in any sort of attempt to be whining, and that is what the Bharatiya Janata Party is saying. However, the Mahavikas Aghadi has been of the opinion that the Election Commission of India has not been providing a fair ground to both the parties here, be it the MVA and Mahayuti. We saw that reactions came in from different leaders yesterday, from Sharad Pawar to Sanjay Raut to Supriya Sure and even Amol Kole, whose bag was checked a couple of days ago as well, where they talked about that on different occasions there have been rules which have been a little different, or at least have been implemented a little differently for the MVA leaders as compared to the Mahayuti leaders. But after these videos were posted today morning by the Bharatiya Janata Party, we are still awaiting for a response from a representative of the Mahavikas Aghadi to how would they retort or revert to the Bharatiya Janata Party posting videos of their leaders' bags getting checked as well.
Right, we also have Krishna Hegde, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena, and Sanjay Gupta, leader of the Shiv Sena UBT faction. Let me just, go across first to Sanjay Gupta. Let's just talk about this video that has been posted. In that video, Devendra Fadnavis, his bags are also being checked. And now Devendra Fadnavis was heard saying that this is, a way of trying to win votes through whining. Your reaction? So if you could just unmute yourself.
इन्होंने पेश किया है, ये एग्जाम्पल इन्हें पहले पेश करना चाहिए था और उसके बाद ही विपक्ष के नेताओं के पास आना चाहिए था। तो जो ये किया इन्होंने, देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी का बैग चेक हुआ या नितिन गडकरी जी का बैग चेक हुआ, अच्छी बात है कि इससे पता चलता है कि सत्ता पक्ष इस मामले में गंभीर है और चुनाव आयोग अपना काम सही से कर रहा है। तो हमारा कहना यही है कि ये काम जो अब हुआ है ये पहले होना चाहिए था और उद्धव जी के पोस्टर उठाने के बाद ही अब चुनाव आयोग ने इस तरह का एक्शन लिया है, तो अच्छी बात है। इनका बैग भी चेक होना चाहिए था जैसे उद्धव जी का चेक हुआ।
Right, Krishna Hagde, how would you react to, Sanjay Gupta there saying that this should have been done in the first place itself?
I think my friend Sanjay Gupta ji is not aware that Devendra Fadnavis' ji's bag was checked on 5th November and Uddhav ji's bag was checked today and yesterday. And therefore, this action was taken by the Election Commission and checked up, they checked Devendra ji's luggage before that. Before that, they even checked Nitin Gadkari ji's luggage. Before that, in the last Lok Sabha election, they have checked Eknath Shinde ji's helicopter and his bags. And therefore, I think the Election Commission is doing his work well. They have seized around 175 crores worth of cash. They have seized gold bars. Instead of appreciating the work done by the Election Commission, this entire election voting pattern is a very huge exercise. Apart from that, the officials at work, the administration at work, the police personnel at work, instead of appreciating all the officers who are doing a great job, while conducting a free and fair election across the state and across the country, these people are just creating a fuss for no reason. And like Fadnavis ji said, totally whining about everything the whole day since the last 2.5 years. I think people have seen through all this now. And even in, this election, apart from complaints, nothing else they have done. So I think it's really
let's
sad
just
that
get a
they want to...
reaction there, Sanjay Gupta. The charges that are being leveled against the party is that they're whining and, they're creating a fuss out of nothing. This video that has been posted after Uddhav Thackeray's bias charge, with the EC also, they're saying that this is nothing but they're following protocols. Then why make such an issue in regard to the bags being checked?
जिस तरह से उद्धव जी का बैग चेक किया गया, ठीक इस तरह से देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी का चेक किया गया या नितिन गडकरी जी का चेक किया गया, ये इस तरह की वीडियोस पहले आनी चाहिए थी और इस तरह से दिखना चाहिए था कि हाँ, चुनाव आयोग अपना काम पारदर्शिता से कर रहा है। तो ये उद्धव जी ने कहा था और कुछ थोड़ी ना कहा था कि अगर आप हमारी चेकिंग कर रहे हैं तो दूसरे और जो बीजेपी के हैं उनकी भी चेकिंग होनी चाहिए। तो अगर उनकी भी चेकिंग हुई है तो इट्स ओके।
हम हमारी चेक कर रहे हो, आपने दूसरे की चेक की थी क्या? और दूसरे की चेक उसके पहले हुई, लेकिन हम रोए नहीं, हम इतने रोए नहीं कि हमारे बैग
रोने की बात है। एक बात कही है, एक बात तो कहा गया तो ठीक है, उनकी भी चेकिंग होगी, बात ठीक है। उनकी वीडियोज भी इस तरह से आने चाहिए थी। गलत क्या कहा था इसमें गलत क्या था? और अगर चुनाव आयोग ने उनका भी काम इनसे ही बैग चेक किया तो ठीक है, ओके। उन्होंने ऐसा कौन सा गलत क्वेश्चन रेज किया कि कुछ ऐसी बात कही कि जो कोई गलत हो? उन्होंने यही तो कहा कि जिस तरह से आप हमारा बैग चेक कर रहे हैं, इसी तरह से ठीक दूसरी पार्टी के नेताओं का बैग भी चेक होना चाहिए।
सभी का बैग
चेक हो गया तो इसमें
बैग चेक हो रहा है
तो ठीक है ना, ओके। मैंने तो कहा, मैं तो पहले कह दिया इस बात को कि अगर इस तरह की पार्टी नहीं बरती गई है, चुनाव अगर सबका बैग चेक कर रहा है, देन इट्स ओके।
जो इलेक्शन चेक कर रहा है तो उसकी तारीफ करो, उसके जो अधिकारी है उनका
तो कर तो रहे हैं कि उनका
पुलिस के
तारीफ भी कर रहे हैं कि आप उनका चेक किया तो इट्स ओके।
कुछ ना कुछ रोते रहते हैं।
उसके बाद हम क्या कह रहे हैं?
बराबर नहीं है,
ये रोते रहते वाली लैंग्वेज यूज मत कीजिए आप। जो किया था वो सही कहा था उद्धव जी ने।
नहीं है,
आप रो रहे हैं, मतलब आपका बैग चेक हो गया और आपकी वीडियो सामने आ गई तो आप रो रहे हैं।
चल रहा है, धूप
मैं ऐसा कहूँ तो अच्छा ही लगेगा।
इसके लिए लोग आए नहीं।
आप लैंग्वेज सही रखे सर, आप लैंग्वेज
मैं बोला इलेक्शन के दिन पे धूप चल रहा है, धूप, इसके लिए लोग आए नहीं। तो वो क्या है कि देखिए, मैंने धूप के बारे में बात किया, दूसरा कुछ नहीं किया। संजय जी, आप मेरे मित्र हैं, आपको गलत भी कुछ नहीं बोल सकता।
रोए वाली शब्दों को क्यों यूज कर रहे हैं आप? मतलब जिनकी पार्टी से आप अलग होकर के आए, इस तरह के शब्द आप यूज करें वो अच्छे नहीं लगते। कल को क्या पता आप फिर से आ जाएं, क्या पता क्या हो
सकता है आप भी आ जाएं। लेकिन
जो शब्द है वो सही यूज होने चाहिए। उद्धव जी ने जो बात कही थी बड़ी
निष्पक्ष तरीके से
हमारा बैग चेक हो रहा है, इतने से औरों का भी बैग चेक होना चाहिए।
निष्पक्ष तरीके से काम कर रहा है, आपकी बैग भी चेक हो रहे हैं, हमारे बैग भी चेक हो रहे हैं। आपकी एक बैग चेक हुई, हमारी 3 बैग चेक हुई।
Well, Krishna Hegde, of course, many calling this that the opposition is being targeted, and if this is something that is impartial, that should be carried out if it's a protocol by the EC and that they're just only following instructions. And of course, Uddhav Thackeray there saying that he has no problem in them checking his bags and that there was no problem with that. He was only asking if something similar was being done when it came to the Prime Minister or the Home Minister.
So that's why we have submitted the proof. The deputy, chief minister's bags or the cabinet minister's bags have also been checked, and which you are also showing in your video. And therefore, I think we have, addressed Mr. Uddhav Thackeray ji's peers, and therefore I think the nation can see that everyone's bag is being checked, and we should appreciate the Election Commission for doing some good work.
Right, Sanjay Gupta, your last comments, please, in regard to, we just heard Krishna Hegde saying that all bags are being checked and this is absolutely impartial, this is routine procedure, and, that fuss is being created for no issue at all.
यही उद्धव जी की मांग थी, यही चुनाव आयोग ने किया डिस्कस है, इसमें हमें कुछ नहीं कहना, इट्स ओके ना। उसके बाद हम कुछ कहेंगे, उद्धव जी इससे कुछ और कहेंगे तो उसके बाद देखेंगे। इसमें जो किया चुनाव आयोग ने, हम उससे सेटिस्फाइड हैं।
Right, so thank you so much, Krishna Hegde and Sanjay Gupta for joining us. And of course, the UBT faction, they're saying that, they are in, they have now, of course, with that video that has been released of Devendra Fadnavis, in which his bag is also being checked. This is in regard to Uddhav Thackeray, who brought up that issue and highlighted the issue as to why was his bag being checked, questioning if the bag of the Chief Minister of the state of Maharashtra, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde's bag, was also checked or not. Switching tracks now to Chennai, a government doctor was stabbed 7 times at a hospital in Chennai this morning. This incident that took place by a young man who posed as an employee. The doctor, an oncologist, is also a heart patient and suffered injuries to his upper chest. He is in the ICU at the moment. The young man, all of 26 years old, stabbed him and has been arrested. The attack took place in the OPD or the outpatient department after he suspected that the doctor had prescribed incorrect medication and incorrect treatment to his mother. His mother had undergone cancer treatment at the hospital, and certain complications had arisen in her particular case, and that is when her son, a 26-year-old boy, decided to take action against the doctor. So he posed to be an employee. He was there in the OPD. He used a small knife, but it is, from what we are hearing, is that the Tamil Nadu Health Minister has gone on to say that no security lapse has taken place. It is the Chief Minister of the state, M.K. Stalin, who has ordered an inquiry in the case. But this is, of course, highlighting the issues that are being focused upon as far as the security arrangements and the life and security of doctors and the staffers in the hospital are concerned. This is something that we have heard of in the past, but it was highlighted because of the incident that took place at the RG Kaur hospital in Kolkata, and which is why junior doctors were on strike in order to ask for security arrangements to be in place. They asked for more CCTV cameras to be installed. They asked for more security arrangements to be in place, and this, of course, is bringing to mind that incident that took place where a junior doctor was raped and killed in the confines of the hospital during an overnight shift. Sam joining us from the hospital where this incident has taken place in Chennai. Sam, a very serious incident that's taken place where this doctor has been stabbed 7 times by a patient's son on, because on the grounds that the mother wasn't given the right treatment in the case.
That's what initial inquiries reveal, according to police and doctors at this hospital where I am right now, Divya, the government Kalangar Centenary Hospital at Gindi in Chennai. Police say that this youngster is the son of a lady who undergoes cancer treatment, and this youngster was suspicious that the doctors had given his mother a wrong treatment, and he took his little knife hidden in his pocket and stabbed Dr. Balaji, a renowned oncologist, in the outpatient hall of this hospital behind me. He suffered 7 cut injuries on his head, on his back, near his ear, and a few other places. He also is a heart patient who uses pacemaker. But the health minister, Mr. Subramaniam, has confirmed that although he's in the ICU being treated, his condition is quite stable, and the minister himself has spoken to him. As we speak now, the Sports Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister, Udayanidhi Stalin, is visiting the hospital. And soon after this, the police have arrested the youngster investigation is underway. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, in a statement, has expressed shock and has ordered for a thorough investigation and has also ordered best possible treatment for the doctor and has assured that enough measures would be taken to ensure this kind of an incident does not happen again. The Doctors Association also has expressed concern and they underscore the need for regulating the movement, the free movement as they call, the free movement of attenders into the hospital, often during emergencies and instances of patients suffering loss of life or their condition turning worse. They take on the doctors and opportunity for that kind of situation ought to be avoided, they say. And this is a fairly new hospital with state-of-art security systems. And in terms of labs, at the moment, it's too early to say. But the government has swung into action. And by the end of the day, we can expect more announcements in terms of strengthening the security systems and curtailing the movement of attenders.
Right, Sam, get us details of this particular case. Was this particular doctor treating the mother who was perhaps discharged, and there was complication as far as her condition is concerned? The son apparently under the impression that she hadn't been given the right kind of treatment, which is why he decided to take matters into his own hands. Of course, this is highlighting the major security lapses in place when it comes to the hospitals. Like you mentioned, this is a new hospital. Of course, the health minister there saying that he had hidden that knife and no security lapses have taken place in this particular case. And of course, the chief minister there, setting up that inquiry in the matter.
At the moment, it's not very clear whether Dr. Balaji, who suffered the stab injuries or who was stabbed, was the one who treated this youngster's mother. But it appears so, but we'll have to wait for official information. But that's right, there is a little bit of contradiction. The health minister saying that there is no security lapse, and the chief minister announcing that enough intervention would be made to make sure this kind of an action does not happen. This underscores the larger demand of doctors to strengthen security, particularly after the rape and murder recently in a hospital in Kolkata. So as we speak now, the Government Doctors Association also is closely monitoring, and they say at the moment their priority is to ensure the safety of the doctor who is being treated now. But based on the government's announcements, they say they will make further announcements. We expect a statement from the Government Doctors Association later this afternoon or early this evening, Divya.
Right, Sam, quickly, before I let you go, just also get us the reactions of the staffers and the medical fraternity when it comes to this particular hospital in Chennai. How are they reacting to this incident?
The medical fraternity is quite shocked because Tamil Nadu and Chennai in particular is not used to or known to have this kind of incidents in the past, because government hospitals are known to be robust and good in their quality of treatment. So this is a kind of a shock for them that this has happened, and this is yet again an opportunity for them to underscore the larger demand of doctors across the country to ensure that doctors are protected from every possibility of attacks like this.
Right, thank you so much, Sam. We will keep coming back to you to get a health update, as far as the doctor who's been stabbed 7 times over in that newly inaugurated hospital in Chennai. It's a relatively new hospital where this incident has taken place of a young man as young as 26-year-old who decided to take action against a doctor inside the hospital on the grounds that his mother was not properly treated. Moving on to more news, and this is in regard to the national capital. Multiple flights have been delayed and diverted on account of zero visibility this morning. We're talking about the smog situation, which has worsened in the last 24 hours. This morning, there was absolutely no visibility, which has impacted the air traffic, but also commuters this morning in the national capital suffered on account of very poor visibility and severe pollution levels early this morning. And we have Tanushka joining us. Tanushka, a double whammy. I mean, there's absolutely no visibility. People, especially two-wheelers who are driving in this smog, inhaling that toxic air while getting to work. Of course, something that was a huge problem. It posed to be quite a problem for all commuters this morning.
Right, exactly, Divya. There was a dense smog situation that engulfed the entire capital from around 5:30 a.m. this morning. And this layer of fog mixed with, of course, the pollution conditions in Delhi right now created such an atmosphere of this blanket layer of smog, wherein it was not just air traffic but also road traffic that was affected entirely. There were 10 flights that have been diverted, as well as there have been many flight delays as well. What we know is that 6 of these flights to Delhi were diverted to Jaipur, and one of them was diverted to Lucknow. However, the weather conditions have improved now. The wind speed has also picked up to 11.1 kilometers per hour. The humidity has also come down to 83% as compared to what it was in the morning in the 90% bracket. However, the AQI levels stand, worsened. It's inching near to the very poor to severe category now. Delhi had recorded a very poor category of AQI in the morning in the 350s level. But as of now, at this moment, the air quality index has risen, or rather worsened, to 381, which is very close to the severe level of the air quality index. What we also know as far as the flight situations are concerned in Delhi is that 5 of these flights of Air India that were diverted and delayed have now, are making their way back to Delhi. They will soon be landing in Delhi. So as of course the day has picked on and the sky has also cleared a little bit now, but in the morning there was intense smog situation. There was visibility of only 200 meters.
Visibility, when we talk about how bad it was this morning, which was absolutely zero, it was nil as far as visibility is concerned. It might have improved marginally, but if one looks out of the window even right now, it's looking really bad. This is of course the worst as far as the season is concerned, and it's come very early on. We're talking about mid-November, something that usually happens in the mid of January. What has really resulted? What's really caused? Is it the humidity? Is it the decline as far as the temperature is concerned? What's really caused this smog to come about so early in the season?
Well, of course, it's a mix of all of these factors, and definitely the major factor here being the pollutants. The PM10 pollutant has been, found the maximum in today's atmosphere. The PM10 pollutant being that of dirt, dust, mold, vehicular emission most importantly. So these are the reasons why the sort of smog situation that we see late December, we're seeing so early on in mid-November at this point.
Of course, keep coming back to you to know more as far as the situation on the ground is concerned, and flights that are being impacted due to fog, which normally doesn't happen till the end of December, and this is coming on pretty early, a month and a half in advance. And considering that the winter season hasn't even properly set in, we're talking about temperatures which are continue to be on the higher side. It's not even the temperatures are a few degrees more than it should be for this point in time, so it hasn't gotten cold yet. We are seeing the smog that is in fact that has taken over the skies, and one is only waiting for when the skies will clear up, because we're seeing the situation that has been carrying on for days on end here in the national capital. Let's just switch tracks now. The executive cannot replace the judiciary, and the legal process should not prejudge the guilt of an accused. That is what the Supreme Court has said, taking a very tough stand on the issue of bulldozer justice. That is the verdict that was passed by a bench of 2 judges, and there they delivered this judgment on petitions that were challenging the action against people accused of crimes. This trend, which has caught on in several states, is referred to as bulldozer justice, and the state authorities have in the past said only in when we're talking about the judgment that's come about. Let's just go across to Sunil Prabhu. Sunil, of course, the court has expressed it very clearly that a home is something that people dream of, and once they make that home, the court is deciding that no official can demolish a property. There are many guidelines that have been framed today, and which includes that there has to be a notice period that will be given, and also if that is violated, it will be the officials who will be paying out of their own pocket.
That's right. The Supreme Court giving pan-India guidelines, really saying that, bulldozer justice and, instantaneous justice that has been taking place cannot and must not be, it's tantamount to lawlessness. And they have now issued guidelines of 15 days notice to be issued. Heavens will not fall. Even municipal laws should be done. And just because somebody has been convicted of a crime or accused of a crime, it doesn't mean that their entire house should be demolished, because that tantamount to the other people who are living there being affected. And what about the others in the vicinity? You cannot just target somebody just because he or she has been accused of a crime or convicted of a crime. And it's in that backdrop that they have said that within 3 months you must have a national portal, and making it clear to MCD officials or municipal corporations across the country that if you do demolish and if it is violative of what the Supreme Court has given in terms of guidelines, you will have to pay from your own salary. So those directions very clear and loud from the Supreme Court, a message to all officials that this instantaneous justice that you have started in various states, be it in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, in Delhi we saw, and in full media glare, that is simply not acceptable. It is lawlessness.
Right, Sunil, thank you so much for breaking it down for us as to what really took place in the Supreme Court in that landmark verdict that's come about. Let's just get some of the political reactions coming in as this verdict comes perhaps on, something that one was really expected. It's coming on expected lines perhaps. Let's get you those reactions.
ये कटने वाले बांटने वालों को बड़ी एक चपराक है, उसके मुंह पर तमाचा है। ये जो राजनीति यूपी में शुरुआत हुई कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ये रिजल्ट जो है ये बड़ा तमाचा विशेष करके योगी को लगा है, जो बुलडोजर की बात करते हैं, बुलडोजर बाबा की बात करते हैं। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के निर्णय का हम स्वागत करते।
सरकार अवैध निर्माण ही तोड़ती है, बुलडोजर तो एक टूल है। सवाल है अवैध निर्माण नहीं होना चाहिए, चाहे अपराधी हो या गैर अपराधी हो। इसलिए संज्ञान लेना उनका भी अपना अधिकार अपने हिसाब से ठीक है, और सरकार जो कर रही है वो भी ठीक है।
Right, with that we're sitting in a very short break. Back with a whole lot more on the other side. Just stay with us.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president.
Donald triumphs. What does Trump's win mean for America, for the world, for the wars, and for India-US relations? Non-stop coverage on NDTV. Top analysts and voices from the ground. Extensive coverage on NDTV.
We reached an agreement on patrolling. We have gone back to where the situation was in 2020, and we can say with that the disengagement process with China, you can say, has been completed. The understanding, to my knowledge, is that we will be able to do the patrolling which we were doing in 2020.
शिवाजी महाराज की यांचा अजेंडा फक्त करप्शन फर्स्ट आमचा अजेंडा आहे नेशन फर्स्ट
घोषणा आणि जनतेचे पैसे लुटणं
कट कमिशन आणि करप्शनला आमच्याकडे थारा नाही त्यांचा परिवारवाद आमचा
महाराष्ट्रामध्ये 1,75,000 जागा रिक्त आहेत, पण का भरत नाही? राज्याची जनतेच्या घमाच्या पैशाची तिजोरी लुटण्यासाठी हे सरकार आहे.
पूर्वीच्या सरकारच्या काळामध्ये निधी देताना त्यांना असं वाटायचं की त्यांच्याच खिशातले पैसे चालले. शेतकऱ्यांना मोफत वीज देण्याचं काम आपल्या सरकारने सुरू केलं.
It's a web of frauds. Calls, luring emails, threatening messages. Cyber frauds have cast their net wide and everyone is at risk. We track the victims, their horror stories as they get conned online, extorted and robbed of their hard-earned money. how to identify a cyber fraud and how to stay cyber safe. What are your options? Fraud.con, only on NDTV 24/7.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah.
Welcome back. Let's cut across to Amit Shah, who's in the poll-bound state of Maharashtra.
बहनों, आपके अकाउंट में आता है, आप यूटी की सरकार बना दो, 1500 की जगह 2100 रुपये का चेक आपके बैंक अकाउंट में आ जाएगा। और इसके साथ साथ किसानों की ऋण माफी करेंगे और मोदी जी जो 12,000 रुपया भेज रहे हैं किसान सम्मान निधि का, इसको बढ़ाकर 15,000 करने का काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी करेगी। वृद्धावस्था, विधवा और दिव्यांग का पेंशन 1500 से बढ़ाकर 2100 रुपया करोगे और 10 लाख युवाओं को 10,000 रुपया ट्यूशन फी के लिए पूरा करने का काम ये एनडीए की सरकार करेगी। राज्य में 25 लाख रोजगार उत्पन्न किए जाएंगे। 45,000 गांव में पादन के रास्ते बनाएंगे। आंगनवाड़ी और आशा बहनों को 15,000 रुपये का वेतन मिलेगा और इसको 5 लाख तक का बीमा भी देने का काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी करेगी। भाइयों बहनों, 30% बिजली का बिल हम करेंगे और महाराष्ट्र को $1 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी बनाने का काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी करेगी। यहाँ एआई विद्यालय महाराष्ट्र में बनाया जाएगा और किसानों को मदद करने के लिए किसानों के उपयोग में आने वाली चीजों पर जीएसटी को माफ करने का काम भी महायुति की सरकार करेगी। भाइयों बहनों, ये जो अगाड़ी है, ये अगाड़ी केवल और केवल तुष्टीकरण करना चाहती है और उद्धव जी सत्ता के लिए सारे बाला साहब के पूरे सिद्धांत भूल कर बैठे। उद्धव बाबू, आप किसके साथ बैठे हो? जिन्होंने औरंगाबाद का नाम संभाजी नगर बनाने का विरोध किया, उसके साथ बैठे हो। जिन्होंने राम मंदिर बनाने का विरोध किया, उनके साथ बैठे हो। जिन्होंने ट्रिपल तलाक हटाने का विरोध किया, उनके साथ बैठे हो। जिन्होंने 370 हटाने का विरोध किया, उनके साथ बैठे हो। और जिन्होंने पाकिस्तान को करारा जवाब देने का, सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक का विरोध किया, उसके साथ बैठे हो। हिंदुओं को आतंकवादी कहने वालों के साथ बैठे हो। भाइयों बहनों, महाराष्ट्र की जनता के सामने बहुत स्पष्ट दो खेमे हैं। एक, ये अघाड़ी का खेमा जो औरंगजेब फैन क्लब है, औरंगजेब फैन क्लब है।
Breaking news coming in of Narendra Rai, who was contesting the election as an independent in Rajasthan, has gone ahead and slapped the sub-district magistrate. Rai slaps the SDM after an altercation that broke out at the polling booth. And to get more visuals on your screen of what really happened there, as you can see, very shocking incident that's coming to light. And of course, this comes on the day of by-elections in the state of Rajasthan. We have Harsha joining us. Harsha, this incident has come about in regard to something to do with, as far as his EVM picture is concerned. Right, Harsha joining us to get us more on this, very shocking incident of Narendra Rai, who was contesting the election as an independent in the state of Rajasthan, has gone ahead and slapped the SDM. Went and slapped SDM Amit Chaudhary after this altercation that broke out at the police at the polling booth, and this is the independent candidate who's gone ahead and slapped the SDM. The incident that took place at the polling booth in Rajasthan. So what is really being alleged here is that there was a conspiracy. There is he has gone on to allege that his symbol, as far as the EVM is concerned, appeared to be very faint, and that is the reason why he has taken matters into his own hands. And there's this altercation that took place at the polling booth. We have Harsha, my colleague, joining us from Rajasthan. Harsha, a very shocking incident coming to light of where this independent candidate is hitting out at the SDM.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I'm not too sure whether I'm on the phone line or on the live with you, but anyway, let me just give you the information. Yes, absolutely shocking incident that came at Devli Unyara. Now remember, that is the constituency that borders Sachin Pilot's strong constituency. And Naresh has been is an independent candidate. He was earlier with the Congress. He defected, and he is an independent candidate now. So he's really playing spoiler in many ways for the Congress there. But today he was sort of quite in an aggressive mood. There are also visuals of him uprooting a tree. Then he stormed into this polling booth, and when they tried to stop him, he came out and he slapped the SDM, Mr. Amit Chaudhary, not once but at least 3 times on camera. Then the police has intervened. They've asked him to leave the polling booth. He's right now sitting on dharna, and there's very likely that the police are going to take action against him. It's possible that they could, sort of restrain him in some way or the other.
Right, just days before the by-polls, of course, it was the Congress party that had gone ahead and suspended the rebel leader.
Because, he has... the ticket was not given to Naresh. He was a very strong contender for the ticket. It was not given to him. It went to KC Meena instead, who we believe is Harish Meena's choice. So it was but obvious that the party was going to disqualify him. And now you can see Naresh in full action at that polling booth. But there's going to be serious consequences for what he has done, it appears to be, from what administrative sources have told us.
Right, thank you so much, Harsha Kumari, for joining us on the phone line with all those details in regard to this very shocking incident during the by-poll elections taking place in the state of Rajasthan. Now, let's just switch tracks to the poll-bound state. Of course, we're talking about the first phase of elections that have taken place in Jharkhand from 7 o'clock this morning, and polling will carry on till about 5 p.m. in the state, except for those sensitive areas where polling will end at about 4 o'clock. Now, the election to that 81-member state legislative assembly that's taking place today, and 43 assembly constituencies are, people are casting their vote in those constituencies. We're talking about a voter turnout of 46.3% till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And it is the Election Commission of India that has made very elaborate security arrangements, especially in regard to those sensitive areas across 31 constituencies, and those have been identified as 950 polling booths. And like we mentioned, elections, the polling will end in those particular areas by 4 o'clock in the evening. And the Prime Minister there urging all voters to go cast their vote. In fact, he is really urging the first-time voter to step out and, definitely cast their vote today. And, it is Hemant Soren, who was seen earlier casting his vote along with his wife, Kalpana Soren, who's playing a big, huge role as far as this election is concerned. What about the voters in Jharkhand? Are they going to be casting their vote again for Hemant Soren, or will they be going for that Chief Minister who took charge of office while Hemant Soren was behind bars. Do remember that he was taken into custody in that money laundering charge. For 5 months, it was Champai Soren who was the chief minister. After the return of Hemant Soren, he had decided that he is ending his political career, but then he decided to switch sides, and for the first time, he is going to be contesting. He is contesting on that BJP seat today, and of course, he also cast his vote. Let's just get you some of the reactions coming in and how far, as far as the elections are concerned. Of course, this is a two-phase election. The next one taking place on the 20th of this month.
आज हम लोगों ने अपने अपने मतदान केंद्र में जा करके अपने मतों को प्रयोग किया और मैं राज्य के हर एक नागरिक से अपील करता हूं कि इस महापर्व को और इस लोकतंत्र के इस व्यवस्था को हम लोग और मजबूत करें।
भाजपा गठबंधन जो है ना, उसी का जीत है, विजय है, इसमें कोई किंतु परंतु नहीं है। देखिए, मुद्दा तो ही है, झारखंड क्षेत्र में सबसे अहम मुद्दा है बांग्लादेशी घुसपैठ, बेरोजगार जो बहाली नहीं हो पाया, सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा है। यहाँ इरिगेशन का काम नहीं बढ़ा पाया, बेरोजगार को रोजगार नहीं, और राज्य में सिर्फ भ्रष्टाचारी, ये सब तो बड़ा मुद्दा है।
हाँ, महिला सुरक्षा मेरी प्रायोरिटी रहेगी। भी लगातार काम कर रही हूँ। हर दिन महिला मुद्दों पर मैं महिलाओं को तरह तरह की परेशानियों से बचाने का काम करती हूँ। आने वाले समय में भी करूँगी और हर एक क्लास के लिए काम करूँगी। हर एक जैसे बुजुर्गों के लिए, युवाओं के लिए, युवतियों के लिए, बच्चियों के लिए, हर एक के लिए, क्योंकि मतदान निश्चित रूप से करना चाहिए क्योंकि ये बहुत ही कीमती है।
झारखंड में मतदान चल रहा है। बड़े दुख के साथ मुझे कहना पड़ रहा है कि जहां लोकतंत्र का उत्सव संविधान के अनुसार झारखंड में चल रहा है, यह हिंदुस्तान की खूबसूरती है, वहीं इस देश में एक ऐसा राष्ट्रीय दल है जो समय समय पर संविधान, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की धज्जियां उड़ाते रहता है। कांग्रेस पार्टी जो एक राष्ट्रीय दल है, यह जानते हुए कि साइलेंट पीरियड चल रहा है, 13 तारीख को प्रथम चरण का मतदान है, 11 तारीख से 48 घंटे के लिए 48 आवर्स के लिए मतदान से पूर्व किसी प्रकार का प्रचार नहीं होगा, मगर उसके बावजूद 11 तारीख से बाद कल 12 तारीख को कांग्रेस पार्टी ने अपना घोषणा पत्र जारी किया है।
Right, and we have my colleague Prabhakar joining us to get us more on this. Prabhakar, a 46.3% turnout till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Take us through, in comparison to the last elections, where do we stand as far as the voters concerned? The Prime Minister asking the young voters especially to step out, and also Hemant Soren, who's gone on to say that if he'll be supported, he promises that he will do work in a matter of 5 years. He will complete work that others will take 10 years to complete. Of course, it is the BJP there holding up that infiltration card. What are the most key issues as far as the state is concerned, and has there been any impact of Hemant Soren's arrest? Will that really impact his popularity going forward?
See, that can only be told when the results are out, but what we are learning from the ground that his particular vote bank, that is of the tribal area, especially the area he comes from, that is the Santhal area, where certainly the tribals feel that Hemant Soren has been victimized by the BJP government, and that was the reason why he was put behind bars. As far as the voting percentage is concerned, in the urban areas the voting percentage has slowed down a bit, but the overall percentage is up to the mark. The reason being the rural areas we are seeing a good voters turnout. This is one of the polling stations at Ranchi, what you are seeing on your screens. And as far as the poll narrative in Jharkhand is concerned, it is centered around 3 main issues. The one is the tribal issues. Jharkhand being a tribal dominated state here, the tribal votes are the decisive vote, and they decide as to who would get to the throne at Ranchi. So both the NDA and the India Bloc Alliance, they are actually targeting the tribals. That's the reason why you are seeing this, the Bangladeshi migrant issue echoed not only by the Home Minister but also by the Prime Minister and by both the factions actually. Now also the women are the most crucial voters out here as anywhere else, and they constitute 50% population of the voters, of the people who are at the votable age. So there's a reason why you are seeing there are claims and counterclaims and regarding the freebies which have been given to women. It was initially started by JMM called Maiya Samman Yojana, where 1,000 rupees monthly stipend was given to women who were living below the poverty line. The BJP, in counter to that, claim that if it is voted to power, the BJP is voted to power in Jharkhand, they would increase that stipend amount to 2,100 rupees under Gogo Didi Yojana. And in counter to that, JMM has promised that it would further increase the amount to 2,500 rupees. So that's a substantial rise if you see from 1,000 rupees to 2,500 rupees. Also, the property which would be registered in the name of women, of the family members who are women, that will be completely waived off and it will be a token amount of 1 rupees which will be charged. So that would go a long way in empowering women and garnering their support in terms of vote during the election. That is the promise by the BJP.
Right. Thank you so much, Prabhakar. Of course, that voter turnout, like we mentioned, is about 46%. We will keep coming back to you for more on that. Let's just switch tracks now. And among the 5 seats in Assam that has gone to polls this morning, all eyes are on this particular area where pre-poll violence has been reported. Even today, there were incidents, and it is Ratnadeep Chaudhary who was caught in one such skirmish that took place between the ruling BJP and the opposition Congress supporters. Let's take a look at this report.
Even as the polling continues in 5 constituencies where by-poll is taking place in Assam, all eyes are on Samaguri, which has seen major pre-poll violence in the run-up to the elections. In fact, today in Samaguri, in different areas, there have been small incidents like this one in one part of Samaguri constituency where there were some threats and counter-threats given by activists of political parties. You can see here police is here to calm down the situation. This kind of low-key skirmishes have been happening, and both the ruling BJP and its candidate as well as the main opposition, the Congress, have been alleging that their supporters have been threatened. In fact, people who have been creating nuisance or threatening people near polling stations have been arrested, like in this case, this incident had taken place. So therefore, tension is still there in Samaguri constituency, which has been a Congress stronghold for a long time. Rakibul Hussain, the Congress heavyweight, has represented Samaguri since 2001, and in the last Lok Sabha election, he has contested from the Dhubri Lok Sabha seat. Therefore, he has vacated the Samaguri seat, and this time his son, 26-year-old Kamil Hussain, is contesting. But the BJP is trying to make a dent in this fortress of Congress through its candidates Deeplu Ranjan Sharma, and right from the run-up to the election to on the day of the polling, like what you can see here on our screen, there have been confrontation between the supporters of the two parties, and that had led to security forces taking action. In Samaguri, with campus Sanjay Chakravarti, Ratnadeep Chaudhary, NDTV.
कुछ नहीं करते पुलिस हम इतना सीनियर आदमी है वो हमारा फ़ोन ब्लॉक करके रखे है। आप देखिए जो आसाम में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर कोई नहीं कुछ नहीं है, वो सिर्फ हिमंत बिस्वा शर्मा का मर्जी से, और कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट आपका चल रहा है। आज इलेक्शन है, कल 2 बजे सीएम ने वीडियो कॉल से एक लड़का को मोमेंट रेस्ट्रिक्ट होता है ज्वाइन करा के बीजेपी में, वो कैंपेन किया। दुनिया में कोई नहीं करेंगे।
दिस इज माई डेमोक्रेटिक राइट। मैं हर पोलिंग सेंटर में जा सकता हूँ एज ए कैंडिडेट। यहाँ का कांग्रेस का कुछ गुंडा लोग बैठा हुआ था, वो लोग ऑब्जेक्शन किया था, उन लोगों को मालूम नहीं, तो इसलिए हमारा कार्यकर्ता लोग था, वो लोग बोला क्या एज ए कैंडिडेट हम जा सकते हैं, तांजिल भी जा सकते हैं, कोई इंडिपेंडेंट कैरेक्टर। तो ये कांग्रेस का कैरेक्टर है। कांग्रेस ने कभी अगर फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन सामग्री में हो जाएगा तो हम लोग जीतेंगे। पहले तो फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन नहीं हुआ था, पूरा रिगिंग किया था कांग्रेस और कपिल हुसैन। तो अभी फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन है। कांग्रेस का लोग हमको बोले कि हम नहीं जा सकते, वो लोग कौन होता है हम लोग को बोलने के लिए?
As far as Karnataka is concerned, it's a direct fight between the Congress and the JDS. It is Union Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy's son, Nikhil Kumaraswamy, who's fighting against local war horse and Congress candidate C.P. Yogeshwar, while this is a battle of political survival when it comes to Kumaraswamy. For Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar, this is an opportunity to settle scores after his brother lost the Bengaluru rural Lok Sabha seat, which covers this area as well. In every way, this is a personal battle between two strong OBC Vokalega caste leaders. My colleague Pratibha gets us the details.
We have with us the Congress candidate from Chennai, Mr. C.P. Yogeshwar. Sir, not as a candidate, but as a voter today, what were the key issues that you had in mind before casting your vote?
Because in the state of Karnataka, the Congress government is ruling. So I am a ruling government candidate. So I hope I am going to win this election. Because always by election to the favor of the acting government only. I hope this election is favored to me.
So last time, even after facing defeat, you did bring water to Channapatna. This time, what are the key issues that you have in mind to do for Channapatna?
A lot of development issues are there. Because our constituency people have a lot of hopes on H.D. Kumaraswamy, but he didn't deliver the things. So the anti-incumbency is against Kumaraswamy. So a lot of issues are there because the government is with me. The government, I am the part of the government. So I hope I will do many things to my people.
So this time, do you think that this election will be a big turnaround for all the parties concerned here?
Definitely, madam. Politically, this is a very important game. That too, what my reason, this is the test for the government performance.
Thank you so much. This is definitely going to be a litmus test as far as the parties here are concerned, and that has been a statement emphasized by the candidate here, Mr. C.P. Yogeshwar. We have with us JDS candidate from Channapatna, Mr. Nikhil Kumaraswamy. Thank you so much for joining us. How nervous are you today?
In fact, after the nominations, it's been good 18 days since I've been gotten an opportunity to visit the whole of the constituency, but unfortunately I couldn't cover up the whole of the constituency. Today where we are standing, this Titmarnalli and a few panchayatis, I missed out this panchayatis unfortunately, but I've been in touch with them regularly. The confidence has been boosting every single day, and that is only because of all the elders' blessing, and especially the women voters, the youth voters. They're saying, coming out and saying orally, vocally, and they're stating out that yes, this time we're going to bless you. So they have a lot of expectations on me. Hopefully I'll get through. Hopefully they'll bless me. Definitely I know my responsibilities, and I'll make sure I'll deliver my responsibilities. Yeah.
Most of them have been talking about how they want development and how they want facilities and infrastructure here. As a candidate, as well as you have been interacting with the voters, what do you plan to do?
Well, I certainly feel unemployment is something which is bothering everybody, not just the youth but even the women also. Now that my father has been blessed by the people of Karnataka, and of course he's representing Mandya, which earlier he was representing Channapatna, of course. Now he's in cabinet and he's a heavy industries and steel minister. So we have a good scope of opportunity to bring in some good manufacturing sectors like industries and factories set up here. So that we are already, Kumaraswamyji is in talks with a few of the company.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
एक ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए।
In the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं।
NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
NDTV proudly presents NDTV World Summit 2024, the India Century. I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's inaugural session at the NDTV Summit outlined his vision for the India Century, driven by aspirational India.
हमारा प्रयास होगा भारत की सेंचुरी सिर्फ भारत की नहीं बल्कि पूरी मानवता की जीत की सेंचुरी बने।
The summit brought together prominent global leaders, highlighting India's pivotal role on the world stage.
Not just Indians trusting India's leadership, but the global South especially trusting India's leadership.
Permanent seat on the UN Security Council is something that should be India's right.
Canada is concerned, I think there are some very specific issues. I think a lot of people know that.
AI is going to be one of the most important, drivers.
It's a very exciting time for India, Indian cinema as well at a global level.
NDTV World Summit was more than just a conversation. It was a confluence of ideas poised to shape our global future. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the topmost news platform in the country. Number one in both online and offline reach in India, beating all its competition. NDTV stands for trust.
Hello and welcome to India Sense.
Good afternoon and welcome to NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. Let's quickly take you through the headlines we are tracking at 2 p.m. Supreme Court wraps Ajit Pawar over Sharad Pawar's plea. Supreme Court tells Ajit Pawar, stop using Sharad Pawar's name. Learn to stand on your own feet. Supreme Court lays down strict guidelines for demolitions. Top court says no demolition can be carried out without a prior 15-day notice to the owner of the property, violation of which means officials will have to pay from their salary. Government doctor stabbed multiple times inside a hospital in Chennai. Cops arrest one suspect. Say the youth was an attendant who suspected doctor gave wrong treatment. Politics over luggage checks of leaders in Maharashtra. BJP shares video of Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis' bags being checked after Uddhav Thackeray alleges bias. Dense fog cover over national capital hits flights operation. At least 10 flights diverted, multiple flights delayed as fog arrives early in the national capital. Voting underway in 43 seats in phase 1 of Jharkhand. Voters turnout 46.3% till 1 p.m. Both JMM and BJP assert confidence. Now, while hearing the dispute related to the Nationalist Congress Party, the NCP, Supreme Court has asked Ajit Pawar Group not to use the photos and videos of Sharad Pawar in their campaign material for Maharashtra Assembly elections. The court told NCP Ajit Pawar they have to fight the election based on the separate identity. Court in fact went on to say Ajit Pawar to instruct the members of his party not to use pictures and videos of Sharad Pawar. Court also told Ajit Pawar, it's time for you to stand on your own feet. Sunil Prabhu, my colleague, joins us with more details on this. Sunil, these are some very strong words and at least an advice, political advice also in a way coming in from the Supreme Court. You want party of your own, now make sure that it is only your party and you don't use Sharad Pawar to try and gain votes.
That's right. And not only that, I think Justice Suryakant Mishra, along with Justice Viwan, who were hearing the matter, Justice Suryakant saying very categorically that the people of Maharashtra will be able to see through this. They are extremely intelligent. They even asked the question whether all this Twitter and all, whether people in rural Maharashtra will understand, to which Justice Singhvi, the advocate for Mr. Sharad Pawar, Mr. Singhvi, said very categorically that you'll be surprised to know that these messages that are happening in Delhi are also, percolating down to rural Maharashtra. In fact, they were inclined towards imposing a fine, but they asked the Ajit Pawar camp to very categorically give a statement and an affidavit to say that, one of the MLCs that he had pointed out having made, having a video of Mr. Sharad Pawar. And it's in that backdrop that they will hear this matter again on Tuesday. They are definitely seeking some kind of, penalty of, some kind of strictures from the Sharad Pawar camp against Ajit Pawar to send the message loud and clear that you can't keep piggybacking on Mr. Sharad Pawar to gain your votes in the fight for the Maharashtra elections.
Sunil, does that then, you cover both, of course, the politics of Congress party, the NCP and many opposition parties along with the Supreme Court. Let me now ask you a political question. Does that in any way mean that, Ajit Pawar and his party still needs that push, especially among the rural voters? They need Sharad Pawar's face so that the confusion can still prevail over which the real NCP is.
Well, as you can well imagine, I think the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Today, elections are fought on symbols. The clock has been given to Mr. Ajit Pawar, but there's a proviso that has to be put to say that it's still under dispute. It hasn't been decided, and that's the something that the Supreme Court had to lay down. In fact, what kind of advertisement had to be put out, this type, and the standard and how big it should be, because they're put small snippets in newspapers. There is definitely a fight for the battle in terms of legitimacy of who is the real original NCP. This, of course, being decided by the Election Commission, for which you've seen, and it's become a political issue with political parties, be it Uddhav Thackeray or Sharad Pawar, attacking the Election Commission for the decision that they have taken in terms of the symbol. But nevertheless, the fact is that you can still understand with the way that, there are various other MLCs, various other people who continue to use Mr. Sharad Pawar's image, that you definitely need to piggyback. And that is why the matter is being adjudicated in the Supreme Court at the highest level. And they're hoping for some kind of justice, even though Justice Suryakant Mishra says the people are the ultimate who will be able to decide and understand who exactly is where and what.
Thank you, Sunil, for joining us with all those details at this moment. Moving on now, a government doctor in Chennai. Horrific incident once again, which raises questions over the safety of doctors. We were talking about West Bengal a few days back, and now, of course, in Chennai as well, this incident coming to light where a government doctor has been stabbed multiple times at a hospital on Wednesday morning by a young man who posed as an employee. The doctor, an oncologist, is also a heart patient and suffered injuries to his upper chest. He is in ICU, but sources say his condition is stable. The young man who stabbed the doctor has been arrested. The attack took place in the OPD after he suspected the doctor had prescribed incorrect medication. Tamil Nadu Health Minister Masubramaniam said the attacker used a small knife but insisted there was no security lapse. Now, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has ordered an inquiry. Health Minister and Deputy Chief Ministers have also visited, in fact, the hospital after doctors started their protest. Let me bring in my colleague Sam Daniel, who is joining us at this moment. Sam, you know, whether it's West Bengal or Chennai, this once again underlines how unsafe, in fact, places of work are for doctors, whether you are a male or female. In this case, a male doctor stabbed, multiple times now. What are the doctors, those who are protesting, demanding at this moment?
Well, Ankit, doctors have placed a 13-point demand to the government, including tightening of security, activating all the CCTVs in government hospitals, and making sure active young police personnel are deployed at hospitals, and more importantly, regulating the movement of visitors or attenders inside government hospitals. And in this case, it's the mother of a cancer patient. It's the son of a cancer patient who has actually targeted the doctor, the oncologist actually, and has attacked the. Just 1 second. Joining us now, Dr. Anton Uray. I'm sorry about the attack of the doctor. What are your key demands, doctor?
Demands, doctor.
Sir, we request capital punishment for the accused, and we want functioning CCTV in all government hospital premises. We want two-tier security system with the metal detectors and fit security person. There's not just a security person, there should be a fit security people and police person, and police outpost should be there in all big hospitals.
What happened today? The accused is not an attender of an inpatient as we speak now. Is that a clear case of security lapse? He carried a small knife as well.
It is not a small knife. It is almost like a 20 centimeter big knife, and 100% there is a security lapse. If there is a two-tier security system, and because this is a place where the life or death is questioned here. So, as a doctors, we are dealing with the life. And when something happens wrong to the patient, there's a nature for the emotional outburst. And some people become over outburst, and this kind of things happens. And this is a clear-cut lapse in the security system. I can say there is no security, there is no functioning CCTV, even this hospital. All CCTVs are there, but I hope there is no functioning CCTV here.
We can see CCTVs everywhere. Are you sure they're not functioning?
Sir, please check where is the CCTV is working or not. I think as we are requesting our director several times, there should be a functioning CCTV. I don't think so. There is an answer for this question, which we raised in several weeks back.
Lastly, doctor, are you striking work now at this hospital?
Yes, sir. Other than the essential emergency services, we have boycotted the OP. We requested our professors to boycott the classes.
Lastly, how has this incident, attack on this oncologist, stabbing of the oncologist, has impacted doctors and the medical professionals working here?
The entire doctors community is in the agony, and they are feared to work. Not only doctors, this has spread to the staff nurse and paramedics.